Hello, dear friends. The blackout, the event, the financial reset, the first contact, and the ascension will be the most important events in human history. Opinion piece. First contact. Existential crisis. There is no danger. The Eisenhower pact. Nuclear war on Mars. Non-human explanations. Control of the forces of light. Look inside to see the way out. Failure of the Blue Beam project. You can never win a nuclear war. Mysterious drones in New Jersey. Kabamur says they come from Andromeda. Let's start. When one culture meets another, technically superior one, the inferior culture experiences a profound transformation according to Cliff High. This could lead to an existential crisis, in which fundamental cultural beliefs, values, and identities are called into question. The disparity between humanity and a potential spacefaring civilization could be far greater than any historical human example. The visitors from the stars are well aware of this sociological principle that manifests itself in humankind. Neither then nor now did they wish to destroy our civilization with inappropriate context, but they have a problem, which is the nuclear industries and weapons of humanity. Nuclear devices disrupt and cause damage to galactic navigation and galactic communications. The deal, the pact. The visitors had made us an offer to gradually introduce us to free energy and other technologies before our civilizations had widespread contact. A competitive offer was made to those who own the power structure by claiming to own oil underground, thus controlling all energy. Between the 1940s and the 1960s, a group of people were responsible for sabotaging the relationship between humans and extraterrestrials. The dark cabal of the Eisenhower administration derailed the first meeting with a more pleasant group of visitors and orchestrated a deal with the Greys to take humans in exchange for technology. The rest is history, and now we have Velcro, smartphones, computers, microfibers, and a screwed up planet. Conclusion. We are at the point of contact with the higher life in this area of the cosmos, and we are doing so with only partial protection from the problems associated with being a lower civilizations. Some humans are now awakening to this manifesting reality. The outcome of a human encounter with star visitors under these conditions, where they lack the anticipated technological and social advancements due to deliberate suppression by the human elite, could play out in several potential scenarios, each determined by the current state of society, technology, and world culture. The current state of humankind poses significant risks, in plural, to an encounter with a higher civilization. However, it is not an entirely lost cause. The key is whether we can recognize and overcome our technological, social, and psychological limitations in time, so that the encounter is a transformative rather than destructive event. This would require facing the repressed legacy of the past and fostering a worldwide shift toward unity. There are ways to navigate this period. Many are not obvious, but all of them turn humans inward, toward the core of what it means to be human. Huge species-level existential challenges lie ahead. Look over that hill. You will see them coming. Look inward for the way out. Confirmation. Dr. Michael Salla on Ancient Nuclear Wars on Mars and Star Trek-like future for Earth. Astrophysicist John Brandenburg discovered a rare nuclear isotope in the atmosphere of Mars, Xenon-129, providing that the nuclear holocaust had occurred, destroying the once thriving Martian civilization. He says that the grace first arrived on Earth during World War II after receiving radio transmissions originating from Marconi's early radio experiments in 1900, which took 39 years to cover the distance between Earth and Zeta Reticuli. Dr. Brandenburg claims that the Greys made agreements with the US and other governments, that they violated those agreements in their genetic experiments, and that they began creating hybrids that would be used to supplant the human species. He claims that the hybridization experiments failed due to the incompatibility between human blood, which was based on iron, and the blood of the Greys, which was based on copper. Brandenburg reveals that the Earth and our solar system are in a neutral zone of the galaxy, so at least 3 distinctive genotypes have been fighting each other to control the fate of Earth. He described these 3 races as the Zeta Greys, the reptilians from the Draco star system, and the Pleiadian humans, also known as Nordics. According to Dr. Brandenburg, Pleiadian humans are the genetic ancestors of humankind and are here and now to help propel us into a Star Trek-style future. He corroborates that what Israeli professor Haim Eshet said, that the first Trump administration was in contact with the Pleiadians, and that during his incoming second administration, the truth would be revealed to all of humankind. Ufological news. Mysterious drones invade military bases and skies of New Jersey. Mysterious drones in New Jersey change time on clocks, says eyewitness. Since mid-November, large drones have been spotted flying at night over more than 10 New Jersey counties. They have been seen flying over critical infrastructure, such as water towers, train stations, military bases, oil, gas, and power grid storage facilities, as well as near Trump's golf club in Bedminster. Governor Phil Murphy has acknowledged the problem, stressing that no immediate threat to public safety has been identified. The FBI says they have no idea what they are or whether they come from, but that they are not a threat to national security. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Andrews says these drones belong to an Iranian mothership that took off a month ago and is stationed off the East Coast. He calls for the military to shoot them down immediately. The Pentagon denies there is an Iranian mothership launching drones from the East Coast. According to Dan Bongino, several unidentified and unclaimed flying objects have appeared in the skies over New Jersey. Is this a security breach or something more? According to Kabamur, Trump is unusually silent on this issue. Elon Musk comments on everything but says nothing. It would make a lot of sense if Trump had given him information and neither of them wanted to talk about aliens yet. According to Kabamur, the drone raids are being carried out in such a way as to allow for alternative theories for those who are not prepared to accept non-human explanations. The intensity of the sightings will gradually increase until it becomes clear. The Galactic Federation is already here, and they want to be seen without fear. The Blue Beam project will never be allowed by the Galactic Federation. These narratives come from people who profit from your fear and doubt. If it could be done, it would have been done long time ago. There is no danger. Do not put your faith in the dark forces. The forces of light are in control. They have no idea what is going on. This is the Galactic Federation. Watch the false narratives crumble. Remember what the Pleiadians said a week ago. In quotes, there are 8 motherships over the location, and none of them can be detected in any way by humankind. The ships, who are scattered in large numbers, will return to their motherships. This technology is something Earth has never seen in operation. According to Kabamur, this is a fleet of 40 friendly ships from the Andromeda galaxy, and they serve as members of the Galactic Federation. They have arranged the image to look like one large ship in singular, but there are many stationary ones, and they enjoy being seen. The mothership is many miles up and camouflaged. After 8 decades of official denial, the Pentagon finally admits it is baffled by UFOs. The Pentagon may be hiding information about UFOs and visitors from the stars, according to a government official. The Pentagon has racked up 1,652 reports of sightings of unidentified anomalous phenomena this year. Meanwhile, China is making fake babies to ease people's loneliness. Full 4 paragraphs. The Japanese embassy in Spain sent SMS alerts on October 28 and 30 to Japanese citizens in Spain to warn them that a weather catastrophe was coming to Valencia. Not only did the Spanish government fail to warn the population of what was coming, it stood by for 3.5 days, according to Polish intelligence. There appears to be a split between hardliners who want China to dominate the entire planet and moderates who support a polycentric world. In any case, while China debates, the West continues its transformation towards regime change. Last week, Donald Trump proposed the idea of merging Canada with the US when the Canadian Prime Minister visited him. Although Trump said that Canada could be the 51st state, the reality would be different. What would happen is that the US would combine the 50 US states and 16 territories with 10 Canadian provinces and 3 territories. This would overtake Russia and become the largest country in the world by land area. There is also talk of building a new capital from scratch, possibly in Manitoba or North Dakota. Canada's regime is trying to force retirees to end their lives through assisted euthanasia by imposing huge taxes on the pensions of people who lived beyond 75. The rest of the Western-controlled world is also expecting major realignments after Trump takes office on January 20th. Sources confirm that agencies have a backdoor into Bitcoin and are inflating the price to try and convince the unwary to put real money into this fiat currency, so they can repeat their pump and dump scam. Last I heard, you can't use Bitcoin to buy things on Amazon or anywhere else. House Speaker Mike Johnson says there will be no new funding for Ukraine under Biden. In January 2022, 5 nuclear states declared that an atomic war can never be won and therefore not possible. The Biden administration is considering preemptive pardons for people on Trump's deep state list. The nomination of Kash Patel as FBI director has greatly spooked this cabal. It appears that the pardons would be an attempt to get a Truth and Reconciliation Committee rather than trials for the Biden regime. Others appear to be trying to hide. Meanwhile, Bill Gates was criticized on social media for calling India a kind of laboratory for testing things, in quotes, in a recent podcast. Pentagon sources say the real Trump will have to get the Supreme Court to act quickly on the Branson case to pull all these issues to rest by January 20th. Trump says he will pardon people involved in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. JFK Jr. Telegram comment. The military is positioned in around 300 to 360 cities, preparing for the shockwave of the Branson brothers' announcement, which revolves around the return of Donald Trump and the impeachment of Joe Biden. As proof that the White Hats are in control, 21 Soros-backed prosecutors have been expelled since 2022 and replaced by tough prosecutors. The transition ship in France is now in dry dock, but will set sail in February or March. General elections will also be held in Germany on 27 February, so the country is in a wait-and-see mode. Bookmakers are predicting that Nigel Farage would be the next UK Prime Minister. Elon Musk is set to give Nigel Farage $100 million in a bid to make him the next British Prime Minister. It goes without saying that the regime change in Europe's 3 largest countries would also mean the end of the EU as it is currently set up. A power struggle is underway in Romania, as independent candidate Călin Georgescu has been robbed of his election victory. East Asia is also undergoing a profound transformation. The Japanese regime lost an election in October, meaning the country is in standby mode until Trump sends a new ambassador with fresh instructions. Regime change has also taken place in South Korea. Prosecutors have opened a criminal investigation into the president over his failed attempt to impose martial law last week. His defense minister has already been arrested. Taiwan, meanwhile, is likely to be invited to negotiations to form a new regime for a unified China. News is expected after the end of the Chinese New Year celebrations on February 3rd. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.